Hello, I'm Isaac Hayes III, founder and CEO of Fanbase. Listen to what I'm about to tell you. The window to invest in Fanbase is closing. We've raised over $10.6 million of our $17 million goal. That means there's room for less than 6,370 people to invest in Fanbase for the average amount. The minimum to invest in Fanbase right now is $399. That makes you an owner in Fanbase today. Go to startengine.com/fanbase to invest. Why? Because current social apps have taken advantage of users for far too long, with content suppression, shadow banning, harmful racist content, and no real tools for monetization and equity. Fanbase has over 1.4 million users and counting, allowing anyone to reach all their following and monetize their content from day one. Social media is the new TV, and whoever owns the apps that distribute that content have the opportunity to own potential billion-dollar companies. While big platforms with uncertain futures are failing to serve their users, Fanbase is stepping up to fill the gap. Don't wait until it's too late. Invest now, invest for yourself and your future. Go to startengine.com/fanbase and own the next generation of social media.
Black Star Network is here.
Hold no punches!
I'm real revolutionary right now. Black power.
Support this man, Black Media. He makes sure that our stories are told.
Thank you for being the voice of Black America, Roland.
Stay black. I love y'all.
All momentum we have now, we have to keep this going.
The video looks phenomenal.
See, this difference between Black Star Network and Black-owned media and something like CNN.
You can't be Black-owned media and be scared.
It's time to be smart.
Bring your eyeballs home.
You dig? Hey, folks, today's Tuesday, August 5th, 2025, coming up on Roland Martin Unfiltered, streaming live on the Black Star Network. We'll talk with one of the two African Americans in the Dallas-Fort Worth area who Republicans want to force out of Congress. That's Congressman Marc Veasey. Also, we'll talk with Texas House Representative Senfronia Thompson, the longest-serving member of the Texas House in history. We'll talk about the Republicans and their racist maps, their racist gerrymandering, and how they want to increase white representation in Congress. Also, an idiot, a true idiot, the senator from Texas, John Cornyn, sends a letter to the FBI asking them to help Republicans in Texas arrest Democrat lawmakers. They don't have jurisdiction, y'all. Oh my God, these people are stupid. Also, today is the second anniversary of the Montgomery Riverfront Brawl. That's right. Somebody call that our second Juneteenth. We'll talk with an artist who put together this great rendering in Photoshop of the Ernie Barnes, that famous photo that was in Good Times. Yeah, we're going to talk to him. Plus, in our Marketplace segment, we're going to talk with Epic Every Day, that particular company, talking about their products as well. And so lots we want to talk about, y'all. And, of course, and Donald Trump, that idiot, made an absolute racist remark on CNBC regarding Latinos. And Republicans are like, oh, well, we'll just call this Tuesday. It's time to bring the funk on Roland Martin Unfiltered. On the Black Star Network, let's go.
He's got it. Whatever the biz, he's on it. Whatever it is, he's got the scoop, the fact, the find. And when it breaks, he's right on time and it's rolling. Best believe he's knowing. Putting it down from sports to news to politics. With entertainment just for kicks, he's rolling. It's on go, roll, roll, y'all. It's Roland Martin, yeah.
Republicans in Texas are just still so mad, upset that they don't have a quorum in the Texas House so they can pass their racist gerrymandered maps that would destroy black and brown representation in Congress. And they're arguing that, oh no, this is going to increase Hispanic voters in these districts, but that's not the point. They want to destroy four black members of Congress, Latina in Congress, and that's what their game is. And so we all know this. One of the folks who they want to pit against another African American is Congressman Marc Veasey out of Fort Worth. They want to eliminate the congressional district, his district in Fort Worth. And they want to basically force him to run against Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett. In Houston, they want to they literally moved the district, so where Congressman Al Green now lives, they basically moved where he lives into the 18th Congressional District. That, of course, is empty as a result of the death of Congressman Sylvester Turner after the death of Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee. And so all these shenanigans are going on, and Congressman Veasey joins us right now, along with the longest-serving member of the Texas House, Representative Senfronia Thompson. Glad to have both of you here. Let me first start with you. Congressman Veasey. I mean, it has been hysterical to watch the Republicans go, oh, no. This has nothing to do with Trump's letter, but in the governor's actual call for special session, he mentions the unconstitutional aspect of the districts. Oh, no, it's political gerrymandering. So they're now all trying to figure out what language to use because the facts are it's racist gerrymandering, and they know that's illegal.
Right. They know it's racial gerrymandering and it's illegal, and they're lying, right? Like, they are blatantly lying. They said just a few months ago, and when the districts were drawn back in 2021, that they were, quote, drawn to be race blind. As you know, we have not had a majority in the Texas Senate or the Texas House in almost 20 years. And so the Republicans are the ones that have been drawing these maps for the last 2 decades. And so the fact that they're saying that this is about politics is a bunch of bullshit. This is all about race. And you can tell by the way that they drew these lines, like you said, how they basically gutted the black community in Fort Worth. And you used to live in DFW, so you know the difference between Tarrant County and Dallas County. But they have really just eliminated black representation in Tarrant County altogether and packed Congresswoman Crockett's district. And, of course, the number that they did on 18 and 9, the 18th Congressional District that Sheila Jackson Lee used to represent, and the 9th district that Al Green currently represents, is crazy. It's blatantly racist. And what they did to Congresswoman Garcia, like you mentioned a second ago, they're basically trying to eliminate one of the state's only Democratic Latina. And so this is all about race. It's all about trying to empower as many white voters in a state where the white population has been shrinking the last 20 plus years, and how you're going to keep giving them more power at the expense of brown, black, and Asian voters.
Representative Thompson, I saw one of the hearings where you said, look, I've been here a long time and I've never seen this kind of crap go on.
Well, it was really shocking to see them come and redesign these districts, particularly when they said that they was drawing them race neutral. And now to see a letter come down from the United States Attorney General and says that they were discriminatory because they did use race. The Attorney General addressed that letter that was sent down on the 7th of July. And he said that, and he basically said, I'm banking my reputation on this. Those districts were not drawn with race in mind. They were drawn race neutral, racial blind. We didn't even look at race. We didn't even consider race. What we considered was political partisanship. That's what they claim that they considered. And now they want to come back and say that they are discriminatory. But what they're actually doing, and it's no secret, they're doing a very move to take black and brown power away from them. Mm-hmm. Because look at the districts that they are taking. They're taking black and brown districts. And they're making sure that they can go in and create white districts, where they said, well, you know, they have an opportunity to vote for the person of their choice. They are voting for the person of their choice right now because they feel like they have a say when they can vote for a black person that is in a predominantly black area or a brown person that's in a predominantly black area. They feel like their ideas, their wishes, their desires are being heard by those particular persons. And what they're doing is they're packing and they are using racial tactics to discriminate against the minority community. And yet, we represent the majority of the population. If you add the black, brown, and Asian together, we're about 60% or more of the population within the state of Texas. About 60-some%. And yet, they want to take 82% of the congressional districts. And we represent 60-some% of the population.
Well, Representative Thompson, I've been laughing because the governor files this lawsuit and he goes to the Supreme Court of Texas. And then let me go ahead and read this here. What is at stake here? Nothing less than the future of Texas. If a small fraction of recalcitrant lawmakers choose to run out the clock today, they can do so for any and every regular or special session, potentially bankrupting the state in an attempt to get their way. That means every state budget could be held hostage until the whims of a small fraction of legislators is satisfied. It doesn't have to be that way. The rarely used writ quo warranto exists to solve rare problems such as this. Okay, Representative Thompson, here's why I think this is laughable.
Well, he talks about what he's going to get the Attorney General to do, and we all know that the Attorney General's opinions are advisory.
Right.
He's the lawyer for the state. And he's to advise. He is to give. He serves in an advisory capacity, and in those capacities where he needs to sue. We have not done anything that would give him the right to remove us from office. The First Amendment, the Article 1 of the Constitution, gives us the right to protect and make a decision regarding our constituents, and we also have the right of free speech. And us leaving and not giving them a cord is a right of free speech. And that is a right that's supposed to be guaranteed of every citizen. And the 13th and 14th Amendment eliminated the 2/3 rule. So we have full-fledged citizenship as citizens of the United States of America and not the 2/3 rule existing anymore. In addition to that, I don't think those happen to be civil matters. And civil matters don't mean that you implement criminal tactics in order to implement a civil matter. And he'll have to go to court and go to every district that we live in to file those lawsuits. So I can just imagine how many lawsuits, if they were going to be filed, they would be filed and how long the courts are going to be tied up. But let me tell you where I really place the blame. I place the blame on Chief Justice Roberts of the United States Supreme Court. Mm-hmm. I placed it back starting in 2013 in a case called Shelby. The Shelby case, when we had pre-clearance, I placed the blame on him. That's who I blame for all of this. It falls squarely upon his shoulders because what he's doing is he's allowing everything that the Federalist Society wants him to do, the Heritage Society wants him to do. He's doing everything that they want him to do, even if it's destroying the democracy which we have known and lived under all our lives. And the creation of this democracy for people who fled from England to give the freedom that they were looking for and not the freedom of a king. He's trying to take us back, all the people, the black, the brown, and the Asian people back to those particular times. I blame him for all of this. He has empowered these people to do these things. And he has used the Supreme Court abusively rather than in a legal capacity. He's abused his power as Chief Justice of the United States Supreme Court. And the millions that he has following him on Supreme Court is just disgraceful.
Yeah. Well, Representative Veasey, I'm laughing. I'm really laughing big time here because let's go back to my iPad here. I get a kick out of this here. The governor says the court's decision will determine if only 1/3 of the legislature can dictate the outcome for 100% of Texans. You're in Congress. Last I checked, because in the same thing he talks about, holding up the budget. Last I checked, doesn't the Freedom Caucus do that? I mean, the reality is numbers are numbers. In the case of Congress, you need 218. And so the Freedom Caucus says, yeah, we're not going to support this. We ain't going to support this bill. And then they don't. And then they hold everything up, and then they get what they want. And again, I go back to he goes right here, so they can attempt to get their way. That's called politics. And so now in the case here, the law is a law. It just simply says you need a quorum.
Yeah.
I haven't seen anything anywhere that says that members actually have to show up. This is literally a tool that's rarely used, but it goes back to 1870 in Texas.
Right. That's right.
Well, let me
not only that,
Representative Thompson, hold on. Representative Veasey, make your point, and I'm going back to Thompson.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Not only does it go back to the 1860s in Texas, it goes back further than that in the U.S. Constitution, using a quorum technique in order to make sure that you don't have a quorum is something that is normal in politics. It goes back a long, long ways. And then the irony behind all of this that I think people are forgetting, the reason why we left town a week early in Congress, it was because the Republicans wanted to release the Epstein files. And Speaker Mike Johnson, who's always on his knees in front of Donald Trump, decided that we needed to leave town early so we would not have a quorum in the U.S. House of Representatives, so we could not bring the Epstein files up. So behind all of this is they're doing the same thing in Congress. They don't want us to come back because they know if we come back that we're going to keep asking for the Epstein files to be released.
Representative Thompson, go ahead.
I think he's covered what I wanted to cover. Thank you.
I mean, this is just, again, and you know, all the histrionics, I'm going to have them arrested. What do y'all make of, guys, what do y'all make? What do you make of one of the two Texas senators, John Cornyn, who sends this idiotic letter? He sends an idiotic letter to the FBI requesting their help with arresting Democratic members. I write to encourage the Federal investigation to take any appropriate steps to aid in Texas state law enforcement efforts to locate or arrest potential lawbreakers who have fled the state for a maneuver to avoid legislative responsibilities on August 3rd, 2025. Congressman, give me a break.
Yeah, and this is really a sad moment in history for John. If you think about his career as our state's attorney general and now a U.S. senator.
No. State attorney general and chief justice of the Texas Supreme Court.
That's right. I forgot about that.
This man knows the damn law.
He knows better. He is trying to get in front of Ken Paxton. The last poll that came out had Paxton like 20 points in front of him in a Republican primary. And then the second question that was out in the poll was, if Donald Trump endorsed John Cornyn, would you vote for him in the primary? Paxton was still up 12 points after that question was asked. So even Trump endorsing Cornyn is not going to help him win this primary. And I think that is such a low point in his career for him to stoop to that level so he can be seen as some crazy radical right senator when everybody knows he comes from the school of George W. Bush. And that is out of style in Texas Republican politics right now.
Representative Thompson, I love this part of the letter. This really, for me, is Comedy Central. I request the FBI's assistance as federal resources are necessary to locate the out-of-state Texas legislators who are potentially acting in violation of the law. Potentially acting. The FBI has tools to aid state law enforcement when parties cross state lines, including to avoid testifying or fleeing a scene of a crime. Oh, was a crime being committed here? Okay. I love this here. Specifically, I am concerned that legislators who solicited or accepted funds to aid in their efforts to avoid their legislative duties may be guilty of bribery or other public corruption offenses. Representative Thompson, is Senator John Cornyn talking about the millions of dollars that Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick got in order to rubber stamp the impeachment proceedings of Attorney General Ken Paxton and how that disappeared, how that didn't happen? Or was it the millions that Governor Greg Abbott got for his sham school choice bill? I would probably say those two things were bribery.
I think if he would work in the realm of what he's elected to do, he can start with Donald Trump and the money that he's accepting and the ways that he's making money. And he would not have enough time to be noticing what somebody else is actually doing. I think he can start with his own house cleaning. And number two, when they issued a warrant out to bring us back, it's a civil warrant. It's not a criminal warrant. And number three, Tom DeLay tried that in 2003 when we left and went to Ardmore, Oklahoma. He wanted to send the FBI and pick us up and bring us back to Texas, and they did not get involved, and that was a Republican administration during that time as well. These are civil warrants and not criminal warrants, and they don't have to look for me. I tell them where I am, and I can send them a map and driving direction, and everything. They can locate me real well.
Well, I was telling my producer, Representative Thompson, that you were running buddies with my grandmother, Imelda Lamont, so you ain't afraid of nothing.
Well, I wish I had some of her boot in while we were talking.
I agree 100%. I appreciate it. Thank you for joining me.
Roland, can I say this real quick? One of the things that have changed from 2003 to now is that in 2003, we did not act appropriately. We let the bully punch us in the face, and we didn't do anything back. This time around, blue state governors will redraw Republican House members out of their seats if they go through with this Texas scheme. And so Mike Johnson is going to have to look, Darrell Issa, he's going to have to look McClintock, he's going to have to look those Republican members in the face and answer to them why he didn't protect them and tell Greg Abbott and Donald Trump to back down. Because the first job as the Speaker of the House is to protect your incumbents. And Mike Johnson's not doing that, because this time we're going to fight fire with fire. We're bringing a knife to the knife fight, and we will draw some of their asses out this time.
And I certainly hope that all of the Texas Democrats, they stay strong. Because just last point here, Representative Thompson, correct me if I'm wrong. So the special sessions are 30 days. This one ends August 19th. The governor can call as many as he wants to. The strategy is actually to hold out until December, because there's a filing deadline to run for congressional seats in 2026. And we know the Supreme Court has a precedent that says that they don't make any, well, first of all, let's be clear that they could change that if they want, and they might very well do it. But typically, they freeze maps in place, even if a lower court has ruled them unconstitutional, because they say it is too disruptive to the voters, and there's not enough time to actually get these things done. So is that the strategy?
I really don't know what the strategy is, because I do know that they can move the primary date. They have done that before. When John Connally was going to be a candidate for president, they moved the date then. That was the reason why that the killer bees in the Senate broke quorum when in 1979, and that bill was dismissed. But this does not prevent them from moving the primary date.
But there is a certain amount of time, Representative Veasey, that has to be.
It is a certain amount of time.
But notification, things like that.
I think like they need to be able to have this done by mid-December.
That's right.
In order for it to be ready for the March primary. But if they have to, because they have moved the primary before. I've seen primaries.
That's a great point. That's a great point there. All right, we appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Roland.
All right, folks, going to a break. We'll be right back. On the second anniversary of the Montgomery Riverfront Brawl. Y'all know, somebody, Essence had a photo, they call it Chair-teenth. That's what they called it. That's why I'm rocking my hashtag Team Whip That Ass shirt. You're watching Roland Martin Unfiltered on the Black Star Network.
Next, on the Black Table with me, Greg Carr. The United States is the most dangerous place for a woman to give birth among all industrialized nations on the planet. Think about that for a second. That's not all. Black women are 3 times more likely to die in this country during childbirth than white women.
These healthcare systems are inherently racist. There are a lot of white supremacist ideas and mythologies around Black women, Black women's bodies, even Black people, that we experience painless, right?
Activist, organizer, and fearless freedom fighter Monifa Akinwole Bandele from Moms Rising joins us and tells us this shocking phenomenon, like so much else, is rooted in unadulterated racism. And that's just one of her fights. Monifa Bandele on the next Black Table here on the Black Star Network.
This week on the other side of change,
diaspora wars. The internet has been swarmed. Who has a right to Blackness and Black culture? Who is overrepresented, underrepresented? It's too much. It's making us dizzy.
We don't have to be prideful without this air of superiority, right? All stories matter within this Black sphere that we exist in.
Only on the other side of change on the Black Star Network.
Farquhar, executive producer, Proud Family. You're watching Roland Martin Unfiltered.
All right, folks, so it's important for us just to give you an understanding when we talk about these maps. And so you're dealing with the current map right here. This is the current map. And so you see all the different districts here. So this is in Dallas-Fort Worth, okay? And so I just want you to look at what they're doing here, how they are parsing different parts of various districts. So, for instance, Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett represents the 30th Congressional District, okay? And so you see right here, this is the 30th, this is the 30th right here, okay? You see how the 30th looks. Now, all of a sudden, let's go over here. Now look how the 30th looks. You see how they put in that 33rd. You see how they grab portions of her district and how they change this. And so look over here. Look at this congressional district right here. You see the orange right here? And now you see how this is current, how they have it here, then coming down here, And then now you see how they changed it over here. So you see, again, how they're sitting here, how they're grabbing neighborhoods and how they're sitting here, moving all the pieces on the board around, grabbing pieces from this district and that district and that district to sort of cobble together the district. Same thing when you look at the current right here. So you look at is that the fifth? You should look at the slight purple right here. And so look at this here. You see that particular district. You see how in the 32nd is right next to it, but all of a sudden it looks different over here. And so this is how they've been playing with the maps. Now give me the statewide map. Let's see the statewide map. All right, so you can understand what they're trying to do in the entire state. So this is just Dallas-Fort Worth. So what they looked at 3 areas: Dallas-Fort Worth, Houston, and they looked at the Austin area. And so again, this right here is the current map. And so you see how the map looks. And so you're looking at the various counties. There are 254 counties that are in Texas, 254 counties. And so you see how it's all separated. But then all of a sudden, you go over here. And now when you look at this map right here, you see how the purple district changes, how all those other different, now you see out there West Texas, look, ain't no change in West Texas. And so the purple right here, the yellow right here, that's Amarillo and the Panhandle, but all the changes come right here. All the changes all up in here. Now we're talking Dallas-Fort Worth. Now we're going all the way down. Now we're talking about going East Texas, Houston, all these areas down here. You don't see much change down here in South Texas. You see some, okay, because you look over here, the current map, you see right here, this down here, and all the way down here in South Texas, you see right down here, that's South Texas, and you see how there's a change here. What they've done is they've given some of that South Texas district up to some of these purple seats right here that are in West Texas. And so this is what they're trying to do in order to reconfigure. Now, again, what did they all say? They said when they drew this map right here, this is the current map, they literally said, oh no, race had nothing to do with it. Nothing to do with it. They're actually being sued in court. Right now, Texas is defending this map, saying race was not involved. But the Trump Department of Justice sends a letter saying, oh, districts are unconstitutional, these coalition districts. So Abbott goes, okay, we got to change them. You can't have it both ways. You can't be in court defending the maps by saying race wasn't involved, but now you're redrawing them because Trump said race was involved. Let's bring in my panel right here. Glad to have all 3 of them here. Introducing them. Help pull all 3 up, please. All right, everybody's up. I appreciate it. Thanks a lot. All right, first off, Teresa Lundy, TML Communications, joining us. Teresa, of course, is out of Philadelphia. Glad to have her here. Dr. Mustafa Santiago Ali, former senior advisor for environmental justice at the EPA. He also joins us from Washington, D.C. Glad to have my frat brother here as well. Also joining us on the show, Dr. Zachary Kirk, educator and content creator out of Atlanta. Glad to have all 3 of y'all here. I'm just getting a kick every day out of the story changing, Mustafa. It changes. No, it's not the maps, it is the maps. Oh, it's like, no, they did it, we're doing it. Oh, they gerrymandered first, we're doing it now. Look, we know what the deal is. They're trying to kiss Donald Trump's ass, pure and simple.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. But it is also about erasure. It is about power. It is about, making sure that folks who fought for the vote, who, invested in their communities, also lose resources, because sometimes folks forget when we're talking about gerrymandering. Yeah, we're talking about the vote. We're talking about the shifting of power, but we are also talking about who's going to stand up for you when you need Medicaid, who's going to make sure that you have the resources you need for education. You can go down the laundry list of all the things that are tied to this when they begin to erase people, when they begin to extract power away from folks. So we've got that dynamic that's going on. And then, of course, they continue to kiss the ring of Donald Trump. And, what they're really doing is setting themselves up long term for democracy to no longer have the same amount of meaning that it once did. So people have to speak up. We got to continue to push. We got to continue to fight. And we got to continue to make sure that there's real justice that happens as we go through this process.
You know, it's crazy, Teresa, hearing the Democrats doing this in Pennsylvania, they're doing it in New Jersey, they're doing it. Political gerrymandering has been done by both parties. I love it how they just totally ignore how Republicans gerrymandered North Carolina to take 3 congressional seats. Teresa, you on mute.
I'm back. Sorry about that. They absolutely tried to do it right here in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, and it's not new. You know, it's the playbook, and we were, as Democrats, were able to overcome through facts, through courts, and appeal. But it also took neighbors, elected officials, and those that are in those distinguished positions to ask their constituents to use their voice, you know, to take action. So I'm very excited about what we are seeing, but this is not an unusual playbook.
This is very simple, Zachary. You fight fire with fire, pure and simple.
And thank God we are seeing that model come to us from Texas Democrats. They are coming hard and they're doing the right thing. There are a lot of people who are upset at this move that Texas Democrats have made to pack it up and get the hell up out of Dodge. But that's what it takes if you're going to, when you're dealing with corrupt people. It's wild to me that Texas Republicans and Governor Greg Abbott and Ken Paxton were sitting on their asses thinking that people were going to take this. These people, your elected leaders in Texas, they're making $7,000 a year, and they're being fined $500 a day for what they've chosen to do. But this is the only thing they can do to protect democracy. And your, you know, our representatives earlier, I think it was Representative Veasey, when he said that, you know, we've already seen this happen in Congress where Republicans shut down the process for Congress early and left because they were trying to protect a pedophile and protect the leaking and the releasing of the Epstein files, which they promised to the people. What you have happening in Texas are Democrats who are leaving and shutting down the governmental process to protect democracy. These two parties aren't the same. And we need people to see that. And I'm going to be honest with you, Roland. I need my national Democrats to see this as a model and example and start fighting back in the exact same ways. Shut the shit down.
I mean, these folks here, again, I just laugh at them. I just sit here and just go, you know, we're dealing with some loudmouth individuals. And the whining and complaining to me is utterly hilarious. It's utterly hilarious, okay, how they're trying to sit and play the game, all right? And we know what's going on. And what they've done is, like, for instance, you got this right-winger, Michael Quinn Sullivan. He goes, you know what really bugs the Democrats the most about the Texas redistricting plan? 4 of the new Republican-leaning seats are majority Hispanic. Democrats won maps that suppress Hispanic voting strength in favor of white leftists. Here's why Michael Quinn Sullivan is full of shit, y'all. In the last 2 censuses, Texas's population increased because of Latinos and Hispanics. And you know what the Republicans did? They created white districts. Yep, that's what they created. And here's what poor little Michael Quinn Sullivan, and just so y'all know, he is the right wing. First of all, I despise the fact that he's a Texas A&M Aggie. That's pathetic. But he's also the publisher of Texas Scorecard. This right wing, come on, show it, please, come on. This right wing publication, that's what he is. This right wing publication, and so what they're all about is they're all about hardcore right wing. Well, let's be clear. Majority of Hispanics in Texas don't vote Republican. They still vote Democrat. That's a fact, Teresa. It's a fact.
Yeah, they do. And they're actually looking at the issues that is happening in their districts and in their neighborhoods, and they're voting accordingly. You know, I think, you know, the Republicans are really stressed about their numbers. So what they're doing is that they can't change how their voting is going to happen because they haven't delivered for the folks that voted for them and for the folks that they say they're actually serving. So it's going to be a tough time. And I think this whole redistricting effort is going to be a test to see what actually comes of when we get to midterm.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I keep saying this, Mustafa, over and over and over again. It means you have to turn out and vote. We have to see massive numbers of black people and others turning out to turn these Republicans out of office.
It goes back to my grandmother's quote that folks have heard me talk about. You have power unless you give it away. When you don't get up off the couch, you are giving your power away. When you think that it's just not that important, my vote doesn't matter, you're giving your power away. And when you give your power away, you're giving your resources away. You're giving away the ability to frame out the direction for your community. You're giving away your children's future, to be quite honest with you, based upon many of the policies that they're moving forward on. So all we got to do is mobilize, get folks ready, educated, registered, and then go out and vote. And make sure you're voting for policies that actually have some humanity in them. Make sure you're voting for policy that's actually going to help you to be able to hold on to your home. Vote for policies that will help to protect you from the hurricanes that are going to come back through Texas and many of the other natural disasters that are going on. So you should just make sure that you vote, and that not only you vote, but you make sure you're talking to other folks about why they should be voting as well.
Zachary.
There are people who are, wondering, why Texas Democrats ended up in Chicago and ended up in New York, ended up in Boston. And they're saying things like, is it really going to make a difference? Roland, I'm going to be honest with you and your viewers, because I think it dovetails into what you just said about voting. It is possible that it is an inevitable reality that these really bad maps are going to pass, that this gerrymander and what the Republicans in this country are doing to suppress democracy will come to pass. And yeah, we can definitely blame the SCOTUS. We can definitely blame Chief Justice Roberts. They have a lot of blame in this. But we also have to blame the voters. We have to blame those who voted for this and put Donald Trump in office. We have to blame those who voted for Greg Abbott and who put him in office. But we also have to blame the 90 million eligible voters who sat down and made a choice to not vote. And we have to ensure that they know what's happening and know the consequences of their actions. The only reason this is happening is because of what voters did or did not do. And the only way to reverse course, the only hope that we have, the only chance that democracy has to continue to exist in this country is that in 2026, they get off their asses and the 90 million go and vote, and they vote overwhelmingly in favor of democracy, not necessarily the Democratic Party. That's not what I'm saying, but vote in favor of democracy, vote for America, and vote in their best interest.
And here's my position. Go to my iPad. It's real simple. So let's see here. New York, there are 26 seats, 16 Democrat, 10 Republican. California, 43 Democratic seats, 9 Republican. If I'm Hochul and Newsom, I'm snatching all 19. And I'm not going to apologize 1 second. Folks, we'll be right back. Roland Martin Unfiltered on the Black Star Network. Support the work that we do. Join our Bring the Funk fan club. Your dollars make it possible for us to do the work that we do. Cash App. If you want to give me a Cash App, use the Stripe QR code. You see it right here. Click the Cash App button to contribute. Use that QR code also for credit cards. Check some money orders. Make it payable to Roland Martin Unfiltered. Mail to P.O. Box 57196, Washington, D.C. 20037-0196. PayPal is R Martin Unfiltered. Venmo is RM Unfiltered. Zelle, Roland at RolandSMartin.com. Roland at RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. We'll be right back.
On the next Get Wealthy with me, Deborah Owens, America's Wealth Coach, Black Americans have 1/10 the wealth of their white counterparts. But how did we get here? It's a huge gap. Well, that's why we need to know the history and what we need to do to turn our income into wealth. Financial author and journalist Rodney Brooks joins us to tell us exactly what we need to do to achieve financial success.
You can't talk about why we are, as Black people, where we are, unless you talk about how we got here.
Bridging the Gap and Getting Wealthy, only on Black Star Network.
This week on The Other Side of Change.
Diaspora wars. The internet has been swarmed. Who has a right to blackness and black culture? Who is overrepresented, underrepresented? It's too much. It's making us dizzy.
We don't have to be prideful without this air of superiority, right? All stories matter within this Black sphere that we exist in.
Only on The Other Side of Change on the Black Star Network.
Next on the Black Table with me, Greg Carr. The United States is the most dangerous place for a woman to give birth among all industrialized nations on the planet. Think about that for a second. That's not all. Black women are 3 times more likely to die in this country during childbirth than white women.
These healthcare systems are inherently racist. There are a lot of white supremacist ideas and mythologies around black women's bodies, even black people, that we experience painless, right?
Activist, organizer, and fearless freedom fighter Monifa Akinwole Bandele from Moms Rising joins us and tells us this shocking phenomenon, like so much else, is rooted in unadulterated racism. And that's just one of her fights. Monifa Bandele on the next Black Table here on the Black Star Network.
Me, Sherry Shepard, and you know what you're watching, Roland Martin Unfiltered.
Folks, Democrats are still in Chicago, and they were joined today by Ken Martin, the chair of the Democratic National Committee. He called out the twice impeached, criminally convicted con man in chief Donald Trump for his blatant racist power grab.
I want to thank Governor Pritzker, of course, Lieutenant Governor Stratton, and Chairwoman Hernandez. Most importantly, I want to thank the patriots behind me. You know, patriotism means standing up for our Constitution in this time when it's under assault from people throughout this country, including our President of the United States. Let me tell you something, though. You heard it from the governor. Democrats are fighting back. We're not rolling over. And I've been saying to these Texas Republicans, if you want a showdown, well, you're going to get a showdown. And here it is right now here in Illinois. Unlike Texas Republicans who held just one hearing on flood response, but 8 hearings on rigging maps, Texas Democrats are doing their damn jobs. They're standing up for the Constitution. They're standing up for the democracy. They're standing up for the voices of their constituents. There is nothing more American than calling out corruption, blasting bullies who seek to harm others, and defending democracy and the will of the voters. We are here on the eve of the 60th anniversary of the Voting Rights Act to once again stand up for fairness and justice. Because just as the icons of the civil rights movement marched, protested, and got into good trouble, just as Dr. King and Fannie Lou Hamer and John Lewis fought to ensure that Americans could access the ballot regardless of the color of their skin, so too are these courageous Texas House Democrats standing up and fighting back against a racial gerrymandering scheme to disenfranchise black and Latino voters, all to desperately hold on to Congress in the midterms. I am here because the DNC is standing shoulder to shoulder with them every single step of the way. And let me tell you something. We are supporting them not because it's a political fight, although it is, not because it's a necessary fight, although it is. We are supporting them because this is a moral fight, a fight worth fighting with every tool at our disposal, a fight for the fundamental value that voters should get to choose their leaders, not the other way around. Now, our message today is simple. It didn't have to be this way. It did not have to be this way. But Governor Greg Abbott, he could have simply picked up his pen to directly support individuals and families affected by the devastating floods in Kerr County. He didn't. He could have said no to Donald Trump and refused to redraw the electoral map in Texas. He didn't. It's clear that Republicans would rather play politics with our elections than support flood victims. They'd rather cheat than try to campaign on their failing record, a failing record which, by the way, includes voting for Trump's budget bill, which rips away health care for up to 1.7 million Texans. Republicans are running scared that voting for this monstrosity will make them lose their majority, and it certainly will. which is why they're trying to disenfranchise Texas voters by packing and cracking them into districts to dilute their voting power, a clear and blatant violation of the Voting Rights Act. Now, I want to be very clear about this. The Trump-Abbott gerrymander is a test case for the rest of the country. What Republicans are trying to do in Texas is a model for other red states to lie, cheat, and steal their way to victory. They don't give a damn about the will of voters or their needs. In fact, they'd rather bend the knee to Donald Trump in Washington, D.C. than advocate for Texas. It's insulting, it's shameful, and it's wrong. And as I've said, Democrats are going to fight this tooth and nail, and until the will of the voters is respected. This is not the Democratic Party of your grandfather, which would bring a pencil to the knife fight. This is a new Democratic Party. We're bringing a knife to a knife fight, and we are going to fight fire with fire. We cannot, we will not let Republicans succeed in their efforts to gerrymander the map and tilt the election in their favor. I want to thank all of those who are here in solidarity with our brothers and sisters in the Texas House Democratic Caucus who have broken quorum to prevent this illegal Republican gerrymander from going through. And with that, it is my great honor to introduce one of those brave patriots, true patriots.
Here, of course, because Texas House Democrats are demonstrating what it means to fight for the preservation of our constitutional republic. Donald Trump, Governor Abbott, Texas Republicans, well, they know that they're headed toward a loss of the Congress in 2026. They're afraid, and they should be. Because when you try to tear health care away from veterans and seniors, from children and people with disabilities, when you raise tariff taxes on groceries and beer and automobiles, when you let poor and working class families go hungry, when you allow smokestack industries to pollute the air and remove safety standards from food producers, well, all so that you can give a massive tax break to Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos and Bill Ackman. Well, frankly, you'd better watch out. You're going to lose your elections. So they've decided that the only way to save themselves is to cheat, to change the rules in the middle of the game. And what do MAGA Republicans in Texas do when Donald Trump ignores, well, his oath of office and theirs, and when they're taking it upon themselves to thwart the will of the American people? Well, they say, when Donald Trump calls, they say, yes, sir, right away, sir. Happy to lick your boot, sir. When Donald Trump says jump, Greg Abbott and Ken Paxton say, how high? They don't care that they're violating the Voting Rights Act and racially gerrymandering their state. Well, they're hoping they can rob the bank and get away before anyone notices. Texas Republicans are trying to diminish the voting power of their own constituents, and in doing so, diminish the rights of Illinoisans and all Americans. Texas House Democrats are putting their lives on hold and their livelihoods at risk because they don't want to live in a country where the president rigs elections for his side. That's not democracy. That's not America. To be in public office right now is to constantly ask yourself, how do I make sure that we're standing on the right side of history? Well, there's a simple answer. The wrong side of history will always tell you to be afraid. And the right side of history will always expect you to be courageous. Texas House Democrats are leading the way in choosing courage and country over politics and party. That's what it means to fight for what's right. And I love this country, too. And I love it so much that I'm going to fight for it, too, right alongside my heroes, the Texas House Democrats. So the state of Illinois is proud to stand side by side with these brave Texas Democrats, heroes in the battle to save our democracy.
You know, Zachary, what really drives these Republicans crazy is the fact that Governor J.B. Pritzker of Illinois is a billionaire. And he could fund this whole thing through December. And they're pissed off because they're usually the ones whose billionaires are funding their stuff. What say you, Elon Musk?
Elon Musk is still sitting somewhere angry and upset and pouting and only giving resources when he's being threatened with the risk of deportation, okay? Because he's probably just as here without the appropriate credentials to be here. Like, that's where he is, somewhere pouting about it. Governor Pritzker is a role model, and he is doing the right work. We have a number of Democratic governors who are out there and who are talking to the game, but Pritzker is backing up the talk with some action. And that's what I'm looking for in a future leader of the party as a whole. And I also want to say a huge shout out to Chairman Ken Martin. You know, this man had a tough election to become the DNC chair. He served under Jamie Harrison, and he has had very few missteps in his current role. He's done an amazing job, from standing up to very small men with loud mouths like, what's little skinny man?
David Hogg.
Little Duke. Look, that was my man, David Duke.
David Hogg
was a mental lapse. Yeah, David Hogg, not David Duke, but David Duke Hogg. Yeah, he stood up, did the right thing, and he's doing it again. He's present, he's visible, he's on the ground. I was fortunate enough to be in New York City for a Congressional Black Caucus PAC event, and who was right there, on the main stage doing some big talk? It was Ken Martin. He's doing a great job, and I cannot not give this man credit, because that's the kind of fight we need in this war.
Of course, California Governor Newsom has now also not been silent. Here's what he had to say about what these nutcases in Texas are doing.
But it's done in response to the existential realities that we're now facing. Things have changed. Facts have changed. So we must change. I think it's in the spirit of, Lincoln's infamous second inaugural. We have to disenthrall ourselves so we can save this country. We've got to think anew. We've got to act anew. Things have changed. We're reacting to that change. They've triggered this response, and we're not going to roll over. And we're going to fight fire with fire. But we're going to do so not just punching with the weight of the fourth largest economy, the most populous state in our union, the size of 21 state populations combined, but we also will punch above our weight in terms of the impact of what we're doing. And I think that should be absorbed by those in the Texas delegation. Whatever they are doing will be neutered here in the state of California. And they will pay that price. And we believe public opinion is with our approach. And I appreciate the growing recognition in other states of other governors of like mind, and the people of this country recognizing what's at stake. These folks don't play by the rules. If they can't win playing the game with the existing set of rules, they'll change the rules. That's what Donald Trump has done. He's dialing for seats. Familiar, because he dialed for votes in the last election. Here's someone who tried to break this country, tried to light democracy on fire on January 6th. He recognizes he's going to lose in the midterms, and we have the opportunity to de facto end the Trump presidency in less than 18 months. That's what's at stake, and that's why we're putting a stake in the ground. We're not drawing lines to draw lines. We're holding the line on democracy, on the rule of law, co-equal branches of government, popular sovereignty. That's what this is about.
Could you invite Texas Democrats?
And Mustafa, that's what it is. They are scared to death they're going to lose the House next year.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And, you have to evolve. You have to meet the moment. So I appreciate what Governor Newsom just shared and some of the other governors are considering doing, because, we see what's playing out on the ground all across this country. Anybody who's actually spending any time out there, people are suffering right now, and it's just going to get worse if we don't have some checks and balances in place. That's the reason that we have the system, that we have in this country, the three different branches of government. There's supposed to be checks and balances that are there, but that's all out of whack right now. So we've got to get back to that, because if we don't, you're not going to have a country. And we know who's going to carry the burden. It has always been the Black community that's been the one, who gets hit first and worst, and the ones who, even after things begin to heal, it takes from, just decades upon decades. So Folks are doing what's needed in this moment, and I appreciate that. Everybody knows I'm a type of person who tries to find collaboration where it can be, but these folks are not interested in that. These folks are only interested in power. They don't care who they hurt and for how long they hurt them, and that has to be addressed, and this is one of the ways of doing it.
Teresa, this is why they're scared. This group right here. There are 35 vulnerable Republicans, and they are scared that they are going to lose anywhere from 10 to 20 of those seats. And they're like, hey, we got to run the numbers up because we know because of the policies, Trump is underwater in a lot of these polls. People are not happy at all. And, of course, they're pissed off. They keep lying about the Epstein stuff. And so they are trying to protect these folks. That's what this is all about. These 35 vulnerable Republicans right here.
I mean, there's nothing else you can do at this point. Republicans are pulling out their chessbook, but it's not working. If the electeds were actually doing their job in the district, I guess we wouldn't be having this issue where they're now trying to figure out other ways to change the way the maps are being drawn and changing the economics in between. So, I think it's an interesting, way of how they're deciding to govern instead of just governing their district accordingly. But we see what the writing on the wall is, and it looks like Democrats are now stepping up a little bit more where people are appreciating the fight.
Absolutely. All right, folks, hold tight 1 second. We come back. Woo, we all remember 2 years ago when the hat was tossed up in the air and it was on like Donkey Kong. Today is the second anniversary of the Montgomery Riverfront Brawl. We'll talk about that next right here on Roland Martin Unfiltered on the Black Star Network. So you see why I'm wearing today my hashtag team whip that ass shirt with a chair on front. Back in a moment.
Next on the Black Table with me, Greg Carr. The United States is the most dangerous place for a woman to give birth among all industrialized nations on the planet. Think about that for a second. That's not all. Black women are 3 times more likely to die in this country during childbirth than white women.
These healthcare systems are inherently racist. There are a lot of white supremacist ideas and mythologies around Black women, Black women's bodies, even Black people that we experience painless, right?
Activist, organizer, and fearless freedom fighter Monifa Akinwole Bandele from Moms Rising joins us and tells us this shocking phenomenon, like so much else, is rooted in unadulterated racism. And that's just one of her fights. Monifa Bandele on the next Black Table here on the Black Star Network.
This week on the other side of change.
Diaspora wars. The internet has been swarmed. Who has a right to Blackness and Black culture? Who is overrepresented, underrepresented? It's too much. It's making us dizzy.
We don't have to be prideful without this air of superiority, right? All stories matter within this Black sphere that we exist in.
Only on the other side of change on the Black Star Network.
Hello, I'm Isaac Hayes III, founder and CEO of Fanbase. Listen to what I'm about to tell you. The window to invest in Fanbase is closing. We've raised over $10.6 million of our $17 million goal. That means there's room for less than 6,370 people to invest in Fanbase for the average amount. The minimum to invest in Fanbase right now is $399. That makes you an owner in Fanbase today. Go to startengine.com/fanbase to invest. Why? Because current social apps have taken advantage of users for far too long, with content suppression, shadow banning, harmful racist content, and no real tools for monetization and equity. Fanbase has over 1.4 million users and counting, allowing anyone to reach all their following and monetize their content from day one. Social media is the new TV, and whoever owns the apps that distribute that content have the opportunity to own potential billion-dollar companies. While big platforms with uncertain futures are failing to serve their users, Fanbase is stepping up to fill the gap. Don't wait until it's too late. Invest now, invest for yourself and your future. Go to startengine.com/fanbase and own the next generation of social media.
Hey, John Murray, the executive producer of the new Sherry Shepherd Talk Show. You're watching Roland Martin Unfiltered.
Oh, it was the Molly Wop heard around the world 2 years ago in Montgomery, Alabama. Black man trying to sit here and, dock his boat, and these white folks wouldn't move their boat. And they said, we're going to fight the brother. And, the Black Avengers came to his rescue, and it was on. The brother smacked his white woman in the head with a chair. And all of a sudden, this symbol right here became legendary around Black America. Let's go back in time a couple of years, shall we? Roll it.
That guy in the white shirt is crew from our little dinner cruise boat who got off our ship to go over there to move that black pontoon boat on his own because those guys who parked there were told not to leave it there and they left it there. So he's just pushing it off. That's funny. Took matters into his own hands. I love it. I hope the police give him a big old ticket. Ooh, confrontation with the owner of the boat. Those guys are all drunk. We all got to throw your ass in this water. Move, bitch! Get out the way! Get out the way! Get out the way! Move, bitch! Get out the way! Get out the way! Get out the way! Move, bitch! Get out the way! Get out the way! Get out the way! Move, bitch! Get out the way! Get out the way! Get out the way! My dog, I like shit dog in here. My dog. I ain't gonna do nothing but drown and I'm gonna come in here. I'm gonna say one more substitute. No, we do for you, baby. It's over. playing like that, baby. What y'all thought was going on? They put their ass in the water, y'all. Boo out! Boo out! Boo out! Boo! Fry their ass out. Baby, please. Ooh, Ashley. Boo out!
I must say, y'all, this absolutely was a flashpoint in terms of the culture. After that, man, black folks had earrings made out of chairs, hats, shirts. I mean, I saw more Let me tell y'all something. I had this shirt here made up, a chair with the phrase I always use, hashtag team whip that ass. Man, I got stopped by more people in the airport. That was crazy. Then I was on social media and I saw this piece. This was a takeoff of Ernie Barnes' famous Sugar Shack painting, made famous in Good Times. It was the Photoshop was renamed the Alabama Sweet Tea Party. The artist was Premi Sterlin. He joins us right now. And so glad to have you, Premi. First of all, before we talk about it, in terms of the piece there, I mean, I don't think people really understood how so many black people were fired up to see this ass whooping take place in Montgomery.
Yeah, for sure, man. I think it really did show a lot of unity within the community to, make us feel like, we could be one, we could be together, especially in a situation like that where we felt like one of our own was being attacked by, a different group. So.
And the memes and everything after that, first of all, they were like, yo, the new black bat signal is throwing the hat up in the air, and folks coming. And then, of course, somebody put the Avengers music when the brothers rolled up. I mean, and again, it was crazy, the aftermath of when this video came out, how it was everywhere.
Yeah, for sure. I think the hat being thrown up had to be one of the most iconic moments. It's something that, I guess, it wasn't planned on his end, but it became something that we all know now. If somebody throws their hat in the air,
it was a dramatic throwing of the hat. So it's not like he took it off and threw it down. My man took it off in this dramatic throwing of the hat. So that's also made it all the more perfect.
For sure, 100%. I agree.
So why did you decide to put this piece together? Grabbing, of course, the famous Sugar Shack photo and call it the Alabama Sweet Tea Party.
So it all started on Twitter. A friend of mine by the name of Jadelle Dior, she's a singer. She actually posted and asked me to put the chairs in the shot. And I thought that was genius. I was like, man, that's kind of hilarious. But as I was doing it, I was like, I might as well add the rest of the elements to it. The hat being thrown in the air, as you see on the left side, the one kid with the crew shirt who swam across to, be a part of it, and adding the name to it, the Alabama Sweet Tea Montgomery Brawl. I thought that kind of fit everything.
Now, of course, we know about copyrights and trademarks. Did the Ernie Barnes estate hit you up to say, bro, what you doing?
No, so it's crazy. They didn't hit me up, but I hit them up. I emailed them and let them know, like, hey, listen, I did do a meme rendition of this, and a lot of people were asking me to make prints and stuff, and I just wanted to let them know, what was going on, and they asked that I did not make, any prints or sell anything. So, I made sure to, respect my elders and just respect their wishes and not do that. So
and also, of course, that art piece there, I think Eddie Murphy owns it, and that piece is worth multiple millions of dollars.
Absolutely, 100%. You got to respect that. I always, you got to respect the art form, especially, when it's within our own community.
Yeah, I had the opportunity to interview Ernie Barnes a number of years ago at the Pan-African Film Festival. I have to find that. It's actually on videotape, mini DV tape. That's how long ago it was.
For sure.
And so you talk about, and so. And what's interesting is, again, how people are responding today. I posted this, and there are other people that have been posting different images, again, today, in essence, marking this day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's almost like a holiday now. They might as well make it a national holiday for us, like like Juneteenth or something, because we remember this day every year. We always go back to it to talk about it, and I don't think that's ever going to run out. I think this has been a legendary moment in the history of our culture, and I just don't think it's going to change.
Well, I'm always reminding people that, listen, this ain't going to be the bow down, take a knee crowd. I mean, people need to understand that, and I think that's also was a huge part of this deal. Folks were sick and tired, and the brother was just simply doing his job, trying to park the boat, and these arrogant fools just did not want to move, and so they wanted to fight. So it's like, okay, let's roll.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they expected him to kind of bow down, and when he didn't, and he made sure to stand his ground and stand on business, and the other people came to defend him, you kind of see like they wanted no parts after that. They wanted to stay in their boat, and they wanted to act as if the event was over when they were the ones that started in the first place.
Go to my panel. Zachary, you first.
Roland, I'm gonna be honest. I had some of that footage I had never seen, and it was a commentary that was taking me out.
Oh yeah. We got other videos, so we got multiple videos. And you're right. The commentary was awesome.
You need to commemorate the day for all of us who didn't get to see all of that. Like when this happened, I was preoccupied. I don't know what I was doing. Preoccupied, not focused on it. It was too much going on. I knew it happened, but I didn't see that commentary. Give us a replay of all the good stuff, because now I'm about to go down a rabbit hole, because I was dying over here at what I saw. I only knew about the brawl. I didn't know about the amazing commentary, the looks, the people in the background giving you blow by blow action.
What we didn't show, hey, y'all need to find it. We didn't show the brother who jumped in the water and swam across that joint to join in the ass whooping. Y'all cue that up so we can see that. And that was a whole level of memes, Aquaman, all sort of stuff. I mean, again, this brawl had it all, and it was crazy. And what's weird is, you're right. Look, earlier I was at the dentist, and the dental assistant was a student at Howard University, and my dentist didn't know. I was like, when the hell were y'all at? How y'all didn't know? I mean, matter of fact, the video we did on this show did about almost 2.5 million views on YouTube, and people were talking to me about that video like crazy. And so it was definitely, Teresa, a cultural flashpoint.
Yeah, it was. But, as much as I, remember us coming together during this, my heart still breaks for this moment even happening. And I think it's just a testament, from the top of what we were talking about in our government, and how much of a discourse it is for a security guard who's doing his job, who's likely getting paid the minimum, has to deal with this kind of stress and strife. And then I'm just glad it didn't escalate, where there were casualties involved. But, every time I watch it, it breaks my heart.
Well, it don't break my heart, because all I know is some other stuff got broken. It don't break my heart at all. Mustafa?
Yeah.
Hey, this show unfiltered. I don't give a damn. Ass whooping like that did not break my heart. I sat back and enjoyed the hell out of it.
I think our ancestors did too. I think our ancestors said, there it is. For every time I wasn't allowed to look you in the eye, for every time I had to cross to the other side of the street, for every time you were able to disrespect my wife or my daughter, for every time I wanted to be able to throw them up, but I knew if I did, I'd be lynched. I think the ancestors said, there it is. And that's the way that I interpreted it. Because for as long as we all can remember, privilege has been allowed to be able to do the most egregious things to us. And in many instances, we had to take it because of the times that we were living in, but we no longer live in those times. So if you want some, you're going to get some. And we hope that we don't never have to resort to violence. But if people have the right to defend themselves and to make sure that whether they're a man or a woman, that they're able to stand up.
See, Premi, I thought Mustafa was going to say, whoop, there it is. That's what I think he was going to say. I thought he was going to say, or I thought he was going to say, whoop that trick. But I do think he's right. I'm telling you, I think a huge part of the reaction was exactly what he said. Black folks took a whole lot of shit. Here's a brother just trying to do his job, and these drunk-ass white folks wanted to act a fool, and so, hence, ass-whipping time.
Absolutely, 100%. I agree. I feel like that's exactly what was going on. I mean, and seeing the people watching from the boat, and they giving commentary on what's happening, and they watching it escalate to the point where they couldn't do nothing because they was in the water, and then watching that one kid jump in the water to swim across to help him, really showed that to me.
Right. Okay. Control room. Where's the video of the kids swimming? Y'all, what's up? I think y'all. No, we don't. We already seen that. We show the video of the brother jumping to the water because, man, I remember black folks who don't swim said, I'm going to go start taking swim lessons after that happened.
They was calling him Black Aquaman. I hadn't seen a couple memes like that.
Right. I mean, that's exactly what it was. So, I mean, it was, I'm telling you, the swimming, I mean, that, Zachary talks about what people did. In fact, here just how creative folk got. Here was one of the videos, y'all. Watch this.
Keeping your head above water, making a wave when you can. Temporary layoffs, good times, easy credit rip-offs, good times, scratching and surviving, good times, hanging in a jar, good times. Ain't we lucky we got 'em? Good times.
And of course, Premier, your art piece is right there at the end.
It's so great to be a part of this history. To be honest, I don't really know, man. This is crazy.
Absolutely crazy. All right, well, Premier, man, we appreciate you joining us. I'm glad I saw it the other day. Glad you could chat with us, and we appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. I appreciate this.
All right, then. I'm telling y'all, it was crazy. The videos were, the memes were insane. Okay, they were insane. And you talk about, okay, hold up, because Zachary talked about the commentary. Hold up, Montgomery. Matter of fact, somebody had posted Montgomery Brawl commentary, and they were just sitting here. Okay, here was another one. They actually another. Okay, pull his audio up. All right. So there's no audio. There's no audio on that one. That was another angle. There was another angle of the brawl, and folks were trying to see that one. Somebody said the full brawl from a different angle. Do we have audio on this one?
Boy, that nigga was kissing their ass at first. You hitting their ass like some TV shit. I ain't lying. Yeah, see, the other folk were...
DJ going, we got the folk talking, we got all of that. You know, and I love this here. Somebody posted this here. This is on the same day. Somebody posted that brawl out of Montgomery is wild. It's dope that all of those black folks stood 10 toes down for that black man worker getting jumped. And of course, they actually accompanied this video here. Y'all go ahead. Let me see here. Hold on.
The more you
okay, this famous video.
As you can see, the more you fuck around, the more you're going to find out. As you can see.
Oh my God, it was crazy. I gotta show y'all this one here. Okay, y'all. So check this out.
Yeah, they squabbling out there now. Yeah.
Oh, y'all, I'm telling y'all. Okay, hold up. All right, here was another one from that day.
Dot, dot, and dot, 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 dot.
He says,
and dot, 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 dot.
Oh, it said new angle of Montgomery Brawl just came out. Ow! I'm sorry, Zachary. Where were you, dude? The hell were you doing?
So this was 2023. I can't blame it on the election. I can't blame it on working for Kamala. So I have no clue. I remember seeing it, but there was so much happening in the world. I do not recall. Fighting for democracy, begging folks to queue up and vote for Joe Biden, a failed work that didn't happen, didn't come to fruition.
So in case
that won't be the story in August of 2026. This work will pay off. Then.
In case anybody was wondering where the swimmer came from, here it was, y'all. He actually came off of one of the boats. Check this out, slow motion. My man swam across the water to get a piece of that here. Okay, I gotta play this one. I gotta play this one here, y'all. Somebody said me watching all these Montgomery Brawl videos and commentary today.
Boy, we had a time last night. Boy, we had a time last night. I'm just.
Okay, y'all, I'm having okay, let's see here. I gotta find, okay, hold on. I gotta find another one, y'all, because I'm having way too much fun. So this was actually a pretty funny video here. Let me zoom. Okay, pull up the audio.
So as a white woman, obviously I need to weigh in on the Alabama boat brawl situation. And here is my take on this situation. I would like all marginalized communities to know that I come with a chair. And if you ever need my chair for defense of any type, just ask. I can move out of it and sit somewhere else. This thing is heavy, it rolls fast, and if you throw it at someone, it'll do serious damage, okay? All right, wait. It also has canes in the back, so we've got options. We've got options with my chair. You see me, you need the stuff, just ask.
Teresa, your heart still hurt?
It's broken.
Oh, I think he was one of those good play-by-play, Mustafa. Let's roll it.
It's not a race thing. This is not a race. Well, maybe it is a race thing. This security officer tells this gentleman here that he can't park his boat there. He needs to move his boat. And it turns into an altercation. It just so happens that this is taking place in Montgomery, Alabama, which also happens to be the home of racism. That's right. So that in Mississippi, the white guy, he gets his friends and they start jumping him. This nigga threw his hat up like he was about to graduate. So just know, this is the cheat code, people of color. If you ever caught in a tough situation, just take your hat and throw it up in the air. And out of nowhere, the black people you never knew, never met, is just gonna come out of nowhere to help aid and assist you. The visuality of the week award goes to this gentleman over here swimming. Do you know how committed you have to be to hop in a body of water you don't know what's in the water, assist somebody you probably don't even know? He swam all the way over there.
Yo, come back with
straight full of adrenaline. Then he get over there, soaking wet, probably 10 pounds heavier, and he ready to fight. When this transpired, this shit felt like, you know, the end of The Lion King, where Timon and Pumbaa just started just whooping all the hyenas' ass at the end. The cavalry has arrived, nigga. And the dreadhead niggas is throwing hands. The girls that was doing the commentary, I ain't gonna lie, y'all country as fuck. I thought I was at a crime mob concert. This nigga think it's ECW Hardcore Heaven 1997. He's swacking the fuck out of everybody with that chair. Straight Stone Cold Steve Austin Sandman type shit. Where's Jim Ross when you need him? The carnage, the mayhem, the broken bodies. We need an ECW chant for that, I ain't gonna lie.
I mean, I don't know what to say, man. I feel like we done passed edibles out. No. I mean, you know what? But it's translated into black love, right? Because that was a love that we had for each other. You know, we don't know if that brother could really swim because he was dog paddling like crazy. But he said, you know what? I'm going to make sure I get to the other side. You saw brothers running down the pier, coming around the side. You probably saw people pushing that big paddle boat and saying, you better get over there quick enough because we got some things that we need to handle. So, you know, I think Teresa was also talking about, you know, in those types of moments, it would be beautiful. We can translate that to a whole bunch of different situations where we make sure that we're loving on each other and protecting each other and making sure everybody understands that you're not going to come for our community, because if you do, we're going to stand in solidarity. So, yeah, it's funny, but it is also an opportunity for us to make sure that we understand that we don't have to be separated. We don't have to take a whole bunch of mess from folks, and that we can make sure that real change happens inside of our community. Sometimes we got to do it by throwing some hands, but hopefully most of the time it is because we are using our brains and being strategic and making sure that we are utilizing our power.
I got one. Just I got one more. That's why
Absolutely.
Hold up. I got one more.
My name is Point of View, and I'm joined today with the chair from what many are calling the Montgomery Riverfront Brawl. Let's take a look. Is this you?
It is.
How are you today, DeMonte? Is it?
I'm doing all right. I'm just happy to be on the right side of history, man.
Care to tell us what happened in Montgomery?
Man, I was smoking a blunt, thinking about the pussy I was gonna get later. Had a date with this bad bitch from IKEA. Thick ass, 3-seat sofa from the clearance rack. Not 2, 3. 3 seats, nigga.
That's a thick bitch.
Thick ass bitch. So I'm minding my business, think about her big burly ass, when this black security guard politely asked these white people to move their punk ass boat so that the riverboat could dock and the patrons could safely get off.
What happened next?
The white people ain't take too kindly to the request and started jumping the black security guard. Next thing I see is black Aquaman swimming across the river to help the security guard.
And that's when you jumped.
That's when I whispered to one of the niggas next to me and told him pick me up.
Why'd you do it?
You know, a lot of people look at me and assume I'm white, when in actuality, I'm just white passing, and I just saw an opportunity to use my privilege as a super duper light-skinned nigga from Alabama.
Thank you for joining us, and thank you for your service, DeMonte.
The pleasure is all mine, man. If you'll excuse me, I gotta go bust open.
You know what? Remember Clint Eastwood did talk to a chair at the Republican National Convention. Maybe that was the chair he was talking to, Teresa.
The light-skinned chair.
With a do-rag. It had on a do-rag.
And Air Force One. In black.
The chair's name was DeMonte's bottom holder. That Trey Melvin, that was brilliant.
We need a creativity award, Roland.
I'm gonna close.
The Black Star Network's Creativity Award.
I'm gonna close this out with a white guy's take on this.
Alabama riverboat fight, greatest piece of cinema I've ever seen. Honestly, some of the best action sequences all around. When that security guard is being 8-on-1 by the shirtless rednecks, and then a dude jumped into the water to swim across from a boat to the dock to even the odds. He sees 8-on-1, and he's like this one security guard having the shit beat out of him by shirtless rednecks. One of them came running in and gave a fucking running knee in salmon shorts. Like, these are bag of shit, shirtless, drunk rednecks attacking a lone black security guard. And this one dude jumps in and swims across. The crowd reacts the same way in Avengers Endgame when you hear Falcon go, "On your left," and the portals open. The crowd watching this just went, "Oh my God, we can be involved too." And it goes on 8-on-1 to like 46-on-8. And then a dude has a chair. He's just smashing people. It's like the Hulk. He's just smashing people with the chair. They all deserve the belt. Everyone deserves the belt. Even the shitty cops, because the cops are like, "I kind of don't want to stop this." They're like, when chair dude gets the one shot on the down lady, they're like, "Okay, we have to arrest you on camera." And they're mad about it. They're like, "Damn, dude, you were so cool until you hit that lady as she was down." Until that moment, they were like, "Oh, no." But yeah, greatest fight I've ever seen. It's a little bit on TikTok, but it's go to YouTube for this one. Alabama riverboat fight. There are multiple angles, so many people, and there's a DJ playing in the background the whole time. Top 10 internet, like, big old brawls I've ever seen. I loved it.
Anything else?
Black Star Network hosts the Creativity Awards.
Black Star Network, SmackDown 2023.
Hey.
When black people come together in unity, it truly is a love song in solidarity.
That was just, Okay, one more.
Montgomery, Alabama, boat brawl. Yes, sir. I love it. I'm just glad nobody got shot. But that white dude was wrong for trying to hit that damn older black dude. Boy, you can't be from around here. You ain't even from the area. You ain't from Millbrook, Prattville, Wetumpka, none of that. You can't be from close around here. Swing on an older dude and an older black dude in Montgomery, the Gump, because you stupid as fuck. You got everything you deserve. And to all them older white folks, it was not the black folks starting this shit. That white dude started that shit, and then black folks ended that shit. Give a damn how you look at it, how mad you get. Them folks didn't start that shit. Them folks put a full-on ass whooping on them white folks. Then that dude with the steel chair, I fought with you. I know you watched wrestling growing up. And then he hit that white lady, and I heard somebody in the background, I think they said, "And that was for slavery." Yes, sir. Hey, I bet you don't go back over there doing that dumb shit. Hell to the no. You know them boys in Montgomery do not play. They do not fuck around. I'm just glad it was just a fight and it wasn't no damn shooting, because usually them young boys over there would chop your ass down. Broad daylight. Don't give a damn who's around. You got lucky. You're supposed to be catfish bait. So y'all don't be trying to shut shit down downtown Montgomery now, cause thinking folks, man, it was the white folks. The white folks started this. The white folks did that now, and they got their ass whooped. Can't get mad about it. Hey, They started it, but goddamn black folk put an ass whooping on this motherfucker, boy. And that dude that swam that goddamn river to get over there, I think that was him in the end. That motherfucker was swinging so goddamn fast, boy. He was tattooing that motherfucker on that ground. So, ooh, that young boy, get it, young boy, get it, goddamn it. Them motherfucker will fight, boy. That shit was too funny. Don't take your ass back over there on that dumb shit, stupid ass boy.
Rolling.
And that's why we got black on media. Because this, you will not get this on MSNBC, CNN,
Not at all.
Fox News, ABC, NBC, CBS.
You might get it on Fox News where they say it's
Yes. My heart is full. Yes, I'm good. I'm sorry, Teresa, but my heart don't hurt. Ain't nothing like a good ass whooping. All right, we'll be right back. Roland Martin Unfiltered on the Black Star Network. Hashtag team whip that ass.
Next on the Black Table with me, Greg Carr. The United States is the most dangerous place for a woman to give birth among all industrialized nations on the planet. Think about that for a second. That's not all. Black women are 3 times more likely to die in this country during childbirth than white women.
These healthcare systems are inherently racist. There are a lot of white supremacist ideas and mythologies around black women's bodies, even black people, that we experience painless, right?
Activist, organizer, and fearless freedom fighter Monifa Akinwole Bandele from Moms Rising joins us and tells us this shocking phenomenon, like so much else, is rooted in unadulterated racism. And that's just one of her fights. Monifa Bandele on the next Black Table here on the Black Star Network.
On the next Get Wealthy with me, Deborah Owens, America's Wealth Coach, Black Americans have 1/10 the wealth of their white counterparts. But how did we get here? It's a huge gap. Well, that's why we need to know the history and what we need to do to turn our income into wealth. Financial author and journalist Rodney Brooks joins us to tell us exactly what we need to do to achieve financial success.
You can't talk about why we are, as Black people, where we are, unless you talk about how we got here.
Bridging the Gap and Getting Wealthy, only on Black Star Network.
Me, Sherry Shepard, with Sammy Roman.
I'm Dr. Robin B., pharmacist and fitness coach, and you're watching Roland Martin Unfiltered.
Folks, you go to shopblackstarnetwork.com. You'll see a number of products, of course, owned, started, founded by African Americans. Well, our guest today is called Epic Everyday. They got a lifestyle brand. They've got backpacks and other sort of bags as well. So joining us right now is Kara Johnson-Graves, CEO and co-founder. Janae Johnson-Carr, CEO, CFO and co-founder. Glad to have both of y'all here. So first and foremost, type of products that you have. What you got?
Well, first of all, I definitely have to say thank you for having us. And this is a great way to kick off Black Business Month. So we are Epic every day. We have tons of accessories, apparel, home goods for children that are historically excluded. We want to amplify and affirm those children to feel seen, celebrated, valued, and visible.
And so what are the products? So you've got lunch bags, you've got backpacks. What else do you have?
We have all kinds of things. Janae, would you like to go down the list of a couple of things that we have?
Sure. We have sweatshirts for the family, not just for the kiddos. We have salon capes, like you said, Roland. We have backpacks. We have lunch bags. We have small backpacks for the littles. We have chest bags. I'm sure I'm leaving off some products, but we have the plethora of everything.
Why did y'all start this? What was the impetus?
So what started as a way to build confidence in my nieces when Janae and her family were living in Scotland has turned into a global brand for us. So we really just started it for them to feel seen, like I said, valued and visible, and really to take to school, travel. They travel a lot. They're little mini jet setters. And that's how it initially started. But Janae can always tell the story as they travel. Janae, what do you want to say?
Yes. So when my kids were little, of course, when your children are little, you want to get them something that makes them feel visible, right? You want to get them something that makes them say, oh, that looks like me. Or I can see myself in that product. And it was extremely hard for me to find anything for my girls. And so we decided to start this company. Now, neither one of us.
Janae, didn't you say y'all were in Scotland?
I was in Tennessee before Scotland, though. So let me be clear. I was in Tennessee when we first started discussing.
I was about to say,
and then with my job, it took me to Scotland.
Scotland probably got 3 more black people than Ireland.
And they were the representation. They were the family. It's left now.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah. So I wanted them, even when they were little, and took things to school. So the first time when we had like our prototype bag, and like I said, my sister and I have STEM background, so nothing dealing with business. We kind of just started bootstrap the company from the ground up. But we happened to go to Dubai, and my daughter had on the backpack. And we were stopped at a theme park, and somebody actually got out of their taxi and said, where did you get that product? Like, I would love to get that for my child. And I literally was like, we don't even have a Facebook page now. We don't have anything. We don't have an Instagram. But that made me see that something that we were doing, we were thinking of it in the right manner. And she was actually our first customer. She was living in Saudi Arabia, teaching English at the time. So it has grown from there. And I'm surprised by the amount of people that still stop us. I was stopped in the Atlanta airport by somebody asking about our products as well. And of course, I keep the cards on hand. Kara, so I can pass them out because she gets on me all the time. So that's kind of how we started it. And I still think there's a huge need, even with our business, right, to continue to do things like we're doing.
Somebody in the
exactly. And we took 2 years just to do research before we launched anything. Beta testing, compliance, the right fabrics, all of those things for our brand.
Somebody in the chat asked, is it only for kids? Do you have anything for adults?
No, we do have products for adults as well. So we do have sweatshirts for the family. I wish I'd have brought mine today, but I was trying to be bright on camera. But we do have other products. We have, like I said, the chest bags. I carry my chest bag around with me. Like I said, we have the sweatshirts. We also have what we call our signature or Epic Everyday brand. So it doesn't have the kids on it. It just has our logo on it as well. So no, there are things for everybody. The littles to, I know some grandparents that take the items. And even my sister-in-law, who's a nurse, takes a backpack and a lunch bag to work with her every day.
All right, question from the panel. Teresa, batter up.
You know what? I am so in love with this product. Where did you guys originate from? Is it local or you just started in California or something?
Yes. So we're from Cincinnati, Ohio, if you could believe that. And now my sister lives in Maryland and I'm in Indiana. So as long as we've had this product going and this company going, we've never lived in the same place. Like she said, when we really got it kicked off, I was in Scotland, she was in Maryland. So we've always lived totally far apart, which might be good. Those of you who have worked with your siblings, that might be a benefit, not sure. But we've never lived in the same area. But we are from Cincinnati, Ohio.
Mustafa.
Love it.
My audio actually shut down.
Say it again. Mustafa?
Yeah, so could you talk a little bit about how you make the decision on which products you're going to use? Do you survey folks who have bought from you? Do you engage with young people to see what they're interested in? How do you approach that?
So I guess I'll talk. My sister is Silas, which she usually is not, you all. My daughter is one, we call her a mini co-founder. So she looks at the different products. She says whether she thinks kids will like it. She also brings her ideas to the table of things that she would like us to do differently. And then we do survey kids as well to see what they're interested in, because we're older, right? So we try to stay on top of things as best as we can. So you see there a tote purse. So we know a few teachers who have purchased the tote purses. We've also talked to doctors and said, what would you guys like to see? So we started scrubs as well for those doctors' offices that have predominantly African-American kids that come through. And so, oh, that's my baby right there, the oldest. And so that's kind of, we use our mini co-founders and then also survey other kids to see what they want. Because you know these kids nowadays, they change like the wind, right? So we want to stay on top of what they would like to see.
And my audio changed. So Janae, if you could just repeat the question for me, I'd be happy to answer.
Well, the question was, how do you decide on what product to launch next? That was the question.
And I answered it, Karen. You're good.
Yep.
Okay.
Zachary.
I'm buying a day, okay? I'm buying a day. I got twins. We got twins here in the Kirk family. I got a niece and a nephew. They just started back to school in Mississippi. And this is something they're going to love. We're going to buy one for these little baby Virgos rolling out here. They're going to get it for back to school. Going to fill the backpacks up with stuff I know they're going to need. One of them loves to read. He'll get books. Boy twin, girl twin, don't like to read, hate to read. Pretty much hate everything with school, so I got to figure hers out because I do want her like some bows and because she like pretty stuff. So we're going to figure that out. But I'm really happy to see it. And I want to know, do you work with young kids? Because, you know, this is one great Roland, thank you for providing the marketplace and providing the exposure. But when we could get this out to kids, like little ambassadors who buy the product, then they share the product out there and we kind of get it going, because this is something I want to see shared with more of our children. They need to see themselves represented in these types of products to feel good about school and what they're doing.
Agreed. So first of all, thank you for that. My husband is from Mississippi, by the way, so shout out to Mississippi. And so, yeah, thank you for that. And we have talked about brand ambassadors. And so that is something we're looking at, because our thing is we want to get it out to as many people as possible, right? And like I said, we're just trying to figure this out because we don't have business backgrounds. I'm an engineer by trade. My sister was in medical technology and worked in an oncology hospital for quite a few years. And so we don't have the background. So we are always ears to the ground, seeing what will help us get our word out there.
Yep, listening to customers to make sure that what they see is what we have for them. So a lot of our products actually were taken from ideas from, influencers, from parents, especially. We always, every stitch is created with love for our community to make those connections.
All right.
You made me think of something.
Yep,
we had the kids were talking about washing their hair, and I think the gentleman that just asked the question, he has a girl, so you know how that can be painful sometimes on wash day with little girls. And so we do have the hooded towels that we started using as well, and things like that. So we got that because kids were saying, oh, we want something when we go, wash our hair, we want something. And so we came up with a product like that as well.
As well as the salon capes. That was just an add-on for that worry-free wash day to make sure that they feel, seen and celebrated. So the characters too are something that Janae's girls, when they were little, would point to different characters and say, I think I want this hairstyle this time, or this hairstyle. So it's a community. It's building self-love on every single stitch.
All right, then. Again, folks, go to shopblackstarnetwork.com. If you go to the website, you're going to see this here. And then you just simply scroll down, and you see Epic Every Day. You click right there. And then there are 4 of their products here. We're going to be adding more products. And so, but you see them right there. And so we certainly appreciate y'all being on today's show. Thanks a bunch and good luck.
Thanks. Appreciate having us on.
Oh,
thank you so much for this time.
Thank you very much. Let me thank Teresa, Zachary, Mustafa being on today's panel. I certainly appreciate it, folks. Thank you so very much. Folks, I'm going to be broadcasting tomorrow from Cleveland. Here there for the National Association of Black Journalists Convention. Looking forward to seeing a black journalist there. And so we're going to be there Thursday. Of course, Omi Congo is going to be sitting in for me because I have to give a keynote speech to the Chicago African Americans in Philanthropy. So I'm going to leave NABJ, go give that speech, then fly back to Cleveland. And so look forward to that. And so, folks, we appreciate that. Hey, if y'all want to support the work that we do, don't forget, join our Bring the Funk fan club. Our goal is very simple, to get 20,000 of our fans contributing on average $50 each a year. That's $4.19 a month, 13 cents a day, goes to support this show and all the shows on the Black Star Network, plus the shows we're looking to launch as well. And so we want you to do that. And so if you want to participate, if you can't give $50, we understand. Give less. We appreciate every dollar. You can give more. That's awesome as well. Use the Stripe QR code. You see it right here, the QR code right here on the screen. Click the Cash App button to contribute. Also, you can use that QR code for credit cards as well. Checks and money order. Make it payable to Roland Martin Unfiltered. P.O. Box 57196, Washington, D.C. 20037-0196. PayPal is R Martin Unfiltered. Venmo RM Unfiltered. Zelle Roland at RolandSMartin.com. Roland at RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Download the Black Star Network app. Apple phone, Android phone, Apple TV, Android TV, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Xbox One, Samsung Smart TV. Be sure to, of course, get my book, White Fear, How the Browning of America is Making White Folks Lose Their Minds. Available bookstores nationwide. Get the audio version I read on Audible. Also, of course, if you want to get our gear, that's right, Roland Martin Unfiltered gear. All you got to do is go to shopblackstarnetwork.com. You see our different shirts right there. You go to the website. I'll show you right here. Come to my iPad, folks. So one second. Don't come to me yet. Here we go. So if you want to come to, so come right here. So if you go to our website, and then if you just simply click Shop the Unfiltered Collection, that's the button right here. Shop the full collection. Takes you to it. You see the mugs and t-shirts and hoodies, all that good stuff, hats as well, all the different products there. And they have to add this shirt right here, the hashtag Team Whip That Ass shirt. I thought was going to be on there, so we're going to be adding that so y'all can get this as well. And so our FAFO Project 2025 shirts, you can get those in black or white. Same thing with Don't Blame Me, I Voted for a Black Woman. It's all there. And of course, if you want to check out our podcast, we do it with iHeartRadio. We're distributed on all podcasting platforms you see right there. Apple, Spotify, Amazon Music. We are everywhere. But of course, YouTube as well. You can check it out there. Plus, in our app. Don't forget, you want to download the app Fanbase. We want to support that app. Of course, black-owned app, Isaac Hayes III. And if you want to invest, they've raised $12.7 million. The goal is $17 million. The Series A fundraise. For more information, go to startengine.com/fanbase. Startengine.com/fanbase. Folks, that's it. I gotta go pack. I'll see y'all tomorrow right here. Roland Martin Unfiltered on the Black Star Network. Holla!